Welcome to my YouTube video. This is Tutor Positivity. So in this video we're just going to look at question 22 of a 2025 paper, and question 22a it's asking us to solve the equation x to the power 3 over 2 is equals to 8. Now let's first break down some few principles that you need to understand, and you need to also analyze like where is this question coming from, what topic. So this topic is referred to as indices. It's coming from what is referred to as equations of indices. Equations of indices. That's where this topic is coming. That's where that question is coming from. So now there are two things involved. The first thing that you need to do is you need to understand how the structure of an index. So like if you've got b to the power of let me change the color, b to the power of a, you need to understand that a is the power. A is the power. Then out of b, you also need to understand that b is the base. Yeah. So when you meet these questions, you're going to realize that number one, they might ask you to find the power. They might ask you to find the power. Or two, they might ask you to find the base. Find the base. Yeah, so that's how equations in the equations of indices come. It's either they're asking you to find the power or they're asking you to find the base. So if they're asking you to find the base, what is it that you do? For example, you've got y to the power 2. This is equals to maybe 3, and they want you to solve this equation. They're saying solve. How do you go about it? So what you do is the first step one, find the reciprocal of the power. Find the reciprocal of the power. Find the reciprocal of the power. Yeah, so that's the step. That's the first step. So what is the power in this case? Our power is basically 2. So what is reciprocal of 2? So the reciprocal of 2, like if you look at 2, I can make 2 become a fraction by just introducing 1. I can make 2 become a fraction by introducing 1, like that. So now it's much easier for you to get it, or like if I make 2 be like a fraction, then just know that the reciprocal of this is where you now interchange, where the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator, meaning it's going to be 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is basically the reciprocal of 2. That's what I want you to understand. So the moment you just do that, it means that since your question is y squared is equals to 3, how you handle this now is you multiply the power by its reciprocal, meaning this is 2 times 1 over 2. Remember that you're just from adding 1 over 2 on this part of the equal side. So even on the other side, you also need to put 1 over 2. because the equal sign means whatever you do to the left hand side, you also need to do it to the right hand side. That's what it means. So now what happens after you do that? You realize that when you say 2 times 1 over 2, the answer is 1, so mean you just remain with y, like that is equals to, then it means that you are finding that is the root of 3, and I can leave it like that since it's paper 1 and you don't need the calculator. This is a paper 1, don't need the calculator, and I can leave the answer like that. Yeah, but let's try to handle the question that was given to us in the past paper. In this, and the question is this question. So what do you do? Okay, let's write it down. So you know that they have told us to say x to the power 2 over 3. That is x to the power 3 over 2, sorry. That's x to the power 3 over 2, if I'm not mistaken. Is that 3 over 2? Yeah, that's 3 over 2. That's 3 over 2. X to the power 3 over 2 is equals to 8. How do you handle that? You know that since it's like that, what I need is just to get the power. That's step number 1. You get the power, which is 3 over 2. Just write it somewhere and say I need to find the reciprocal of that guy, of which we're saying the reciprocal is making sure that you switch. The denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator, and at the end of the day you're going to have that's 2 over 3, like that. It means that that's the reciprocal of what? That's the reciprocal of 3 over 2. If that's the case, then the next step is you just write it down and say this is 3 over 2 multiplied by its reciprocal. That's gonna be 2 over 3, and this whole thing is equals to 8. And remember, because you introduced the reciprocal on the left side of the equation, also introduce the reciprocal on the right side of the equation, and this is gonna be 2 over 3, like that. So what it means here is if you multiply 3 over 2 times 2 over 3, the answer is 1, and this is x to the power 1, which is basically equal to. Now we need to be capable of introducing, like, how to interpret this. If you don't know how to interpret that, just need to understand to say, in this case, you need to get it from this point. If you've got a square root and you've got a power which is a fraction like 2 over 3, just so that the denominator of the power goes on the tail, then 2 is the one that becomes the power over here. That's what it means. So what's going to happen is you're going to write the root, then all the time the base is the one that we write here. Then if you go to the power, if your power is a fraction, meaning the denominator of the power is going to sit on the tail of the root. In this case we're talking about the 3 coming here, then you put the brackets. That's when you put 2, which is the numerator. So what does it mean? They're saying the third root of 8. The third root of 8 is basically 2. So I've solved what is in the brackets, but now let's drop down that 2. That is the 2 over here. So mean your x is equals to 2 to the power 2. The answer is a 4. Then that's correct. So follow, like and subscribe to our YouTube video. And what you're going to do is, after you subscribe and switch on your notification bell button, it's going to be easy for you to look at part 2 or watch part 2 of this video, because we have not solved the question that is on B, and we're going to solve B in part 2. Thank you very much.